Many thanks for joining us this evening. First things first, when you look at the proposals, resolutions from the NRM Parliamentary Caucus, do you see progress or it's more of the same?
When history repeats itself, like 10 years ago, there was a case where I went to the Constitutional Court and won a case against government on the Police Act, and where police had powers to prohibit gatherings. Some 1 year down the road, government still came up with what was called the Public Order Management Act. The Prime Minister at the time was John Patrick Amama Mbabazi. John Patrick Amama Mbabazi spearheaded the undoing of what the Constitutional Court had nullified. 3 years down the road, the same Amama Mbabazi had to suffer the same fate. Therefore, these MPs who want, basically the rest of other things are just icing on the cake, who want civilians tried in a court martial, in a military court, are thinking that that will only be for the opposition. Unknown to some of them, they will find their way in a court martial. But be as it may come, it all now has defeated the whole notion of political, constitutional, sui juris electoral reforms. A lot of people have been spending a lot of man hours and busybodies trying to move around saying we need the constitutional reform, we need the electoral reforms. Now, for a government that cannot respect the ruling of a Supreme Court and wants to do everything humanly possible to reverse that ruling, you can no longer stand up and make a case for constitutional reform.
Weren't they eventually going to end up these proposals in Parliament anyway for their amendments? For example, if you're to make sure that there is fairness and justice in the military court, when the amendments eventually going to end up in Parliament?
Yeah, it will end up in Parliament, but Parliament can sometimes be a mob. The Parliament that it will end up to, which is the People's Parliament, has already been caucused by the chairman and the president of the Republic of Uganda. What we want to ask and appeal to members of Parliament is that on this matter, let them go and each of them have a consultation in their respective constituencies and pick the views of the Wananchi.
So you're saying that these look like demands from the president as opposed to have formed a debate around what is the right thing to do?
Yeah, this is just demand from the president. It's not a people-centered legislation, it's not consultative, and it will be wrong. Neither the president of Uganda nor any single MP campaigned on that platform. So in this case, they need to go and consult the people, and the people need to give them instructions on what to do. But for them to turn around and do what has been achieved in a constitutional court is in any way to defeat any argument about the rule of law and constitutionalism. So
how will the proposed amendments protect the rights of civilians, particularly in cases where they're accused of crimes that fall under this whole now what they bring about military jurisdiction?
Now, Jamiru Mukuru on terrorism is in a civilian court. There are so many other people accused of crime, terrorism, treason, using even military equipment that are in civilian court. So that argument is neither here nor there. So everything they want to try in the military can be tried in a civilian court. So it's simply ego, failure to accept defeat,
all right,
and a regime that has lost its way.
Honorable, thank you very much for sharing your insights with us on